To everybody who said that Megan Thee Stallion is going to fall off or get canceled because of the Tory Lanez verdict, where Tory was sentenced to 10 years in prison for shooting Megan Thee Stallion in the foot in 2020, you have another thing coming. Look at this. Matter of fact, Megan stepped out in fine style. And like I said on videos I've done before, Megan Thee Stallion is probably here to stay for a long time. There are a lot of women who have been victimized by men who did not get any justice. So they are going to be her champions. They're going to be her cheerleaders. They're going to be part of her team. And we're already outnumbered, women to men in numbers, basically. So what do you think is going to happen? Anyways, the headline says that Megan Thee Stallion addresses her haters after Tory Lanez sentencing. So, Meg has been pretty quiet lately. So even at the end part of Tory Lanez sentencing, where victim impact statements could be given to the judge, or you could get up and you could say stuff about him, whether it was a good person or he was a bad person or whatever, Megan chose not to be there. She's been pretty quiet. She went to court back in the day. She did her thing. She pointed out who shot her. She said whatever happened that night, and she left it at that. She then wrote a letter telling the judge to give Tory Lanez the max sentence because he's not remorseful and he doesn't really care and all this other stuff, right? She says that lenient sentence is for people who are at least remorseful. Tory wasn't showing any of that. So Meg stayed out the way. She asked for a full press on the years he would get. And I can imagine that actually helped with him getting sentenced to 10 years. Now, we're not going to debate how long he's going to do behind bars. We already know that he was accredited for over 100 and something days. Plus, he has some other he only has to serve 85% off of the 10 years, which brings him down to probably about 7 years and some change, right? And with good behavior on top of that, he'll probably be out in 5. But we're not talking about Tory. Megan Thee Stallion triumphant return to the stage was marked with excitement at the 2023 Outside Lands Music Festival in San Francisco, California. She stepped out on the stage in blood red, or what looked like hot pink, some kind of an ensemble, on Sunday, August 13th, days after Tory Lanez was sentenced. And for her, it looked like it was actually a celebration, like she had gotten some stuff off of her chest. The 28-year-old rapper graced the venue in one of them hot girl outfits. Complementing her outfit was a corseted bodysuit that was adorned with pearls and diamonds and all these other stuff, embellishments, whatever. Meg's appearance was significant. And it was significant because it marks her first performance since Tory Lanez was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Right. He was found guilty and he got his time. The incident actually followed a pool party at Kylie Jenner's Los Angeles residence, culminated in an argument inside of a Cadillac Escalade. And according to prosecutors, Tory Lanez shouted to Megan and then fired his 9mm pistol. Is that when he was saying, "Dance, bitch, dance"? Meg said she was only trying to leave because she was tired of arguing in the vehicle. She didn't want to be in the vehicle with somebody arguing with her like that anymore. She just wanted to leave and go about her business, but they wouldn't let her leave. She also said that once he started to fire at her, she started to think like, oh my God, what if he shoots me? What if he oh shit, I got shot. Now, in that situation, you got to think, damn, what if he raised the gun higher and shoot me in my spinal cord and I'm in a wheelchair for the rest of my life behind some okie dokie shit? What if he raises the gun higher and shoots me in my back and it goes through my heart? What if he raises the gun higher and shoots me in the back of the head? Will I be on the front page news as Megan Thee Stallion, successful entertainer, found dead on a street in Los Angeles after being shot in the back of the head? I don't want my story to be like this. So she now was trying to quell the situation. She thought, man, frig it, let me go back to the vehicle. A lot of people are asking, why the hell did you go back to a vehicle where somebody in the vehicle was shooting at you in the first place? You know what? I'm not even going to try to answer that. But maybe she was fearful, and maybe she thought if she walked away, they would drive her down and actually probably shoot her down. So let me just go back to the vehicle and take part in the argument and get to somewhere safe. Don't forget, Megan also said that she's very well aware of how the police operates when it comes to black people, especially where gunshots are involved. So they had the cars out there, they had the bird, the helicopter in the air, big light shining down on them and all that. She didn't want to say gun or I got shot, and next thing you know, all the responding officers draw their guns and have their guns pointed at them. She didn't want to die in the process either. So it kind of shows a level of distrust, a typical level of distrust, which she has, but I think any inner city African American or a black American person carries this kind of a distrust when it comes to the police. Anyways, especially if it's all white police officers that responded. I'm not saying all police officers are the same. I'm just saying that's how that went. So she finally broke her silence, right? The Texas superstar subsequently underwent surgery for the shooting, and of course, Tory got his punishment. Now, while performing at Oakside Lands, Megan Thee Stallion addressed her audience in a clip that was by Pop Cave. She came out on the stage. She was very loud about it. She was very forward with it. She didn't stutter. She didn't seem intimidated, scared anymore like she told the judge. She wrote a letter in for Tory's sentencing because she couldn't find herself sitting in the same room with him anymore. And she feel like a burden has been lifted off her chest. Now with him behind bars, she could feel like she is now free. She walked out on the stage, and first thing she said was, "Fuck all my haters. None of that shit you were doing or saying broke me. None of that shit y'all been doing and saying to the hotties broke them." She calls her fans hotties, just like Tory Lanez calls his fans umbrellas. Meanwhile, the lineup at the festival was pretty impressive. So this wasn't like some small gig she was playing. And I'm saying this because a lot of people are saying, oh, she's canceled. I'm not going to see her anywhere. She's not going to be anybody after this. The streets don't mess with her no more. And what y'all don't understand, that the streets is some kind of fantasy made up bullshit, right? On this same stage, she was performing with people like Kendrick Lamar, Lana Del Rey, the Foo Fighters, among others. Last week's sentencing was a significant chapter in a distressing chronicle that attracts attention and opinions from fans and fellow artists alike. There are a lot of people who are still saying online that Megan Thee Stallion is lying. I saw one comment that said that the only reason Tory is in prison is because he did not sign that deal with Jay-Z and his company. I don't know. Others were saying it was fabricated. She was not shot. She lied at first and said glass got in her foot. And now she switched her story to her being shot. Well, those are people who aren't paying attention and they're in denial, okay? Because she clearly said that she lied and said it was glass that was in her foot. She got out of the vehicle and stepped on some broken glass. That's because she didn't want to mention that somebody in the vehicle had shot her, because she didn't feel like going through it with the police officers that night, right? So she was trying to save herself. She was trying to save everybody else. Y'all know what it's like when the police responds to black man with a gun. Black man with a gun. Call 911 and say there's a black man out here with a gun and he's shooting, and see what the response is, right? That means I've seen the police called before to help to subdue some young black man that was going through some mental crisis, who is known that in his medical history that he has issues mentally. And before you know it, the mom is crying that she wished she had just locked her son in a room, and she wished she had never called them for help because now her son is dead. If you from the hood, you can relate to what the hell Megan Thee Stallion was saying, right? Tory left a statement that says, "This week in court, I took responsibility for all verbal and intimate moments that I shared with the parties involved. That's it. In no way, shape, or form was I apologizing for the charges I'm being wrongfully convicted of. I remain on the stance that I refuse to apologize for something that I did not do." Well, check it. Tory is still holding on to that "I didn't do it." And I guess he's doing that because it'll make it easier for him when he appeals his case. But I could say that there's overwhelming evidence that says that he did do it. So even at appeal, I don't think he's going to come up with anything other than the time that he got that he has already. I continue. It says, "I've faced adversity my whole life, and every time it looks like I would lose, I came out on top. This is nothing but another moment where my back is against the wall and I refuse to stop fighting till I come out victorious." Well, guess what? I think you're about to do that time, buddy. And I think that was a strong message when Megan came out and said, "I just want to say, fuck all my haters. None of the shit that you were saying mattered to me. None of it broke me. None of it broke her supporters. None of it broke her hotties, her girls. She good. And you cannot break her." And that's a good stance to take. I'm just saying. Leave your comments in the comment section below. I want you to answer this question in the comment section. Do you think that this was all fabricated and made up and that Tory Lanez is innocent and he was framed and sent to prison? Or do you think that this is a classic case of him doing something wrong and failing to admit that he did something wrong? I'll catch y'all on the next video. I'm out. Peace.